week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, Naruto and his friends run around the woods. Yep, the filler has continued. The infinite Tsukiyomi filler, which just never freaking ends. And I just found out today that this whole Jiraiya's Ninja Scrolls infinite Tsukiyomi filler is going to go on for a couple more episodes. In fact, it's going to dominate the entire October schedule. And you know what? That's just stupid. You know what's also stupid? That this episode has good animation, good artwork, and it's a filler episode. I hate when that happens. It makes me so angry that they can't get these better teams to work on the canon episodes of the series, and they always end up making them work on the filler episodes, which end up being completely unimportant. This is another episode that you can skip entirely, and you will not miss a single beat. Despite that, however, this was a surprisingly intriguing episode. I really kind of like the concepts that they're going with here. Basically, Naruto and all the other rookie ninja from back in the day are going on this mission so that they can find these missing ninja. They're also going to be joined by their senseis. All of their instructors end up getting captured by these weird black tentacle things which kind of look like the threads from Kakuzu, and it's very obvious that the Akatsuki are going to be involved in all of this. In fact, there's this one character who looks suspiciously like Obito in this week's episode, or Toby, except that he has a completely brand new design. He's still wearing his mask, but his eyes look a little different. I'm really curious to see what they're actually going to do with this character. But we also get to see the return of frickin' Hidan, which I honestly did not expect at all. He actually battles against Naruto, and when I say he battles against Naruto, he doesn't really do that. He basically steals some of his blood and immediately begins his ceremony where he turns himself into a living voodoo doll and stabs himself right in the stomach. Naruto is taking all of the blunt of the attack too, which is pretty freaking insane. Not only that, but we also get to see the return of Nagato, Yahiko, and Konan, who are all alive and creating giant paper frogs that they can stand on, which make them look oh so cool. What's most interesting is they're also wearing their old Akatsuki uniforms, so I wonder if they're actually involved with Hidan and the other weird Toby guy if they're in their group. Otherwise, that's this episode right here. Just Naruto and the other rookie ninjas just running around the woods, the senseis getting captured, and them trying to actually find them. This is all spread out over the course of 20 minutes, but on the upside, it all looks pretty good for the most part, in particular the artwork in this week's episode. The final scene with Hidan coming back was awesome. I think he's an amazingly fun character, although I liked him more in the canon story, not so much in this weird filler arc, which to me is still really strange. This is a dream world where Tsunade in her dream is reading a book, so we're in her dream and watching her read a book telling a story. It's really strange and completely unnecessary, especially considering that Tsunade's story in the manga version, her Infinite Tsukiyomi, was done in a single manga panel. But clearly, they're trying to get their best animation teams to work on the finale of the series. Although, considering that all of this is going to go into October in the very end, I have a feeling that Naruto's probably not going to end until 2016. And you know what? We should have seen this coming. Just look at the intro of the show. There's only one scene that is even manga related. Everything else is just a bunch of random characters just standing around. As good as the actual intro is, it leads me to believe that there are going to be way more filler than we actually are anticipating. I do have a feeling that after this whole Jiraiya thing, we're going to have a couple more. This might go all the way to the end of 2015, and they might not even start the final battles or the final real arc of the series until the beginning of 2016. It is really hard to tell at this point, but really that's just it. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? I'm starting to get a little frustrated from all of the filler. You guys can probably tell that from my more ridiculous reviewing style that I'm doing for this episode. I'm just sort of bored with it at this point, which is something that I really don't want to say because I really love Naruto a lot. It's one of my favorite anime series of all time. You know, I like Naruto not originally because I read the manga, but because I was introduced to it through the anime version, and to see it turn to this many fillers after the manga version is done is just incredibly disappointing. I'm ready for this stuff to end. Now, there are Naruto fans out there who are probably going to enjoy this episode. If anything, you'll get to see a lot of your favorite characters, and you get to see a lot of their quirks again, but really, it's just more of the same, just a lot of them running around. The most interesting element of this episode, without a doubt, is the whole Akatsuki angle, if only for the fact that we get to see a lot of these guys come back, some of which were previously dead. I mean, Yahiko is still alive in this week's episode. Getting to see Hidan going up against a younger version of Naruto is really disturbing when you actually consider what his moveset is, what his abilities are. And the fact that he wastes no time in attacking Naruto is pretty freaking intense and makes for, without a doubt, the most memorable scene from this week's episode. But still, that's about it. That's really all I have to say. Just like the last episode, you can watch this one or you can skip it. Take it or leave it. I'm giving this episode a 3 out of 5. Just an okay average episode of Naruto. But really, I'm just waiting for the real story to begin again. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this filler? Are you actually enjoying the story? Are you liking to see all these old characters again? Ones that were dead that are now brought back to life? That is kind of the most interesting angle of this arc, by the way. Just the fact that it's a big what-if scenario. So just about anything can happen. Do you have any theories as to what's going on in this story with the character of Tobi Obito? Is that really him actually wearing the mask, or is that some sort of red herring that they're going to try and trick us with this Infinite Tsukiyomi story, which is actually the story that was told by Jiraiya, that Tsunade is reading, as she is trapped in the dream world? Yeah, that's what's going on here. So there it is. Tell me in the comments section below, and make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby! Dear Naruto Shippuden fillers, fuck off. Love, Corey.